Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
A General Hospital fan podcast. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the December 16th through 20th General Hospital recap.
It's almost Christmas.
It is.
I feel like I've said this every week leading up to this week, but I can't believe it's December and now it's almost the end of December and the whole year has just flown by.
Only 3 more sleeps until Christmas morning.
Yes.
2 when you're listening to this.
Right.
So they haven't really done anything holiday-ish
No,
yet.
they have not.
Tomorrow, the day that this is released, did you watch the trailer
No.
for?
I did not. I'm sorry.
Stop it!
I'm sorry.
They're doing a Christmas.
Well, you sent me the
Christmas
text.
Carol.
You sent me the link, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, I didn't really need to watch then. I knew what was going to happen.
I'm confused. Did you watch the link?
No, I didn't watch the link, but I could tell by just the way it was captioned.
Oh, okay.
Yours?
It's very torn. Some people were like, this is dumb, and
it depends on how it's done, I think. I think it's going to totally depend. Because
I don't understand Finn being Scrooge.
They've had things that have happened, storylines like this that have happened in the past, and it's done so well. Like the Luke thing that we talked about just last week. Done so well that it totally makes sense. Then there's other things, which we'll talk about on Thursday when we do the New Year's recap of the 2002 episode that you were excited for me to watch. Not that it wasn't a good episode, but I don't understand what that had to do with anything.
I didn't watch it. I told you I didn't. I just kept seeing it, and I was like, you need to tell me what's going on here.
Okay, so
we'll talk about that Thursday.
Yeah, when we get to Thursday, that comment will make sense, but it's a good story. It was a good episode, but it didn't really play into any storyline. It was a completely lost day.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they do this really well, like they did with the Luke thing, then great. If they do it like that, it's going to be just a wasted day or two.
But Luke makes sense for Scrooge. And so many people were like, why isn't it Valentine? Why is it Finn? Because Finn's happy now. You know, he's not Scrooge right now.
No, he's not Scrooge right now.
Dainty's child, though, said, when Ava was seeing people, I thought they ought to have had a Scrooge episode with Ava.
Oh,
wouldn't that have been, that would have been
good.
So much better.
Yes.
Or Julian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Julian right now would be really good.
Exactly. Like, that's what I'm really excited for, because I want to see why they picked Finn.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe he's having conflicting thoughts that we're not seeing yet about the whole Hayden thing.
Well, I think he's always going to have the...
But maybe that's what they're playing up. That's why they picked him.
Maybe.
Because I don't know anyone else, except for Peter, that's just awful right now.
Yeah.
Or Julian, like you said.
Or Valentine.
I think Valentine's his regular level awful right now. I don't think that he's worse.
No. But he's kind of Scrooge-ish. Because I feel like he wants to be good, but he just keeps making... He's the future of Peter.
I don't think that he wants to be good. I don't think he wants to be good. I think he likes having that underhanded cut above everyone else.
But we talked about this because...
You analyze him with his childhood and blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think he wants to be good. At this point, he's adult enough that if he wanted to change something, you would have changed it.
But he could have reflected and been like, oh, if I had made that choice way back when, this is where it would be, and I would actually not be on the verge of losing Nina.
True.
That's what I'm saying. Because that's the whole Scrooge thing, is that is the turning point for him, is, wow, I used to be so happy. I used to, and then I kept going down this dark path, and now I'm a miserable old man.
Right. I don't know. Well, I will be interested to see.
I want to know who's going to be Tiny Tim. Because Aiden is now in Ireland with Lucky.
Yes, but at least they mentioned him.
I know. And at least he's going to spend a holiday with his dad.
I feel like there should have been a better build-up for that, though. That you should have seen the conversation. Even if you didn't get to see Lucky's face.
Right.
You should have seen Liz on the phone. Oh, okay, I hate to not have him on Christmas, but I understand. Yes, I'd have a great time, blah, blah, blah. Because just to announce it like that to Franco, that was weird.
Yeah.
I felt like.
No, I agree.
They kind of made it up at the last minute.
Because it would have been nice to have, whenever you can put your friends' pictures in as their
Yeah.
contact, have it pop up, maybe even just a text.
Right.
Hey, what do you think about Aiden coming to Ireland for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big decision for her not to have discussed somewhere else, or just a big event, even at work, just to be like, oh, did I tell you he's going with Lucky, blah, blah, blah.
Or maybe having the conversation with Laura while they're sitting there waiting for Franco's,
yes.
Oh, so I hear that Aiden's going to go to Ireland to see Lucky. That's really nice. Why doesn't Laura ever go to Ireland to see Lucky?
She's too busy being the mayor.
And going to France.
But
she doesn't go to Ireland.
She does not.
Okay.
So, but anyway, no, I'm glad that they're sending him there. I'm glad that we're trying to include Lucky in it. I wish that meant they were going to bring him back.
I know.
But I don't think that it made sense the way that just kind of fell into the storyline.
Jonathan Jackson was just in Ireland on his Instagram, and he was sharing the most beautiful pictures. He's such a beautiful man.
I was going to say, any picture with him in it is a beautiful picture.
Yeah. I did like when Maxie and Peter were over at Anna's, delivering like the box of clothes and everything, and they're going to Christmas Palooza. What is Christmas Palooza?
I don't know.
We need to see this.
Never heard that.
But they're doing a coat drive.
Yes.
At Rice Park. I
liked that she was bringing stuff over, and it wasn't like, oh, I went out and bought all this new stuff, blah, blah, blah. It was real life. We grew out of this stuff. I thought that you would like it. Although I did kind of wonder how much stuff of Georgie's she would have.
That's what I was wondering too.
Because Georgie's been there, 3 times in the past?
We haven't even seen her.
So, but okay.
And how long? Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, I didn't understand how she would have a lot of stuff, but it was very nice to pass along because that's like real life what you do.
I thought it was funny when Finn made fun of Anna because he was like, here we say Mary, not happy, because, you're in America.
That was funny. That was really cute.
Oh, you were right about something this week.
What was I right about?
When Charlotte mentioned the picture on Lulu's phone.
Oh,
to Laura.
Yes.
Why didn't she mention it on the phone?
But then Laura didn't believe her. Or no. Laura didn't. I mean, I guess you wouldn't believe a child. You wouldn't connect all that to say a child said your dead son was back from the dead. But she did give it a second thought. And
she did have a good explanation to Valentine, though, or to Curtis, when she was saying, maybe she was just looking through Lulu's phone and saw this picture of this man and put it in her head.
Right.
That's who can be my bodyguard. Because
Kevin was trying to turn it into, oh, she heard good things about Nicholas, and she was like, I don't think she would even know that was Nicholas to say it. So,
especially since he was recast, so it wouldn't have been all of his old photos anyway.
I don't think that that's the connection you're supposed to make.
So your whole thought about Charlotte jumping in the water and Lulu really not accepting any of the blame. I'm sorry, there are things that happen with your kids right in front of you, and you can be hawk-eyeing them the entire time, and something can still happen. Charlotte was still going to jump in that water.
Yes, but Lulu should have been sitting there watching them talk, or standing off to the corner having a conversation, and at least got a, Charlotte, no, or something like that. When Valentine said, and what were you doing when she jumped in? I was like, yeah, he has you.
Yep.
There's no excuse. I was busy making out with my boyfriend again.
And you said the key phrase, making out. It wasn't just, I have kissed my husband in front of my kids when they were little, and, you have too. Yes. You do, but you do not make out.
Right. It's appropriate to show affection in front of your kids. You want them to see affection. I'm not so sure with this guy because he's kind of super new, but that's her own personal choice. But to see that grown-ups have relationships, and that's fine, Or
sleepovers, as Charlotte is so in tune to.
Yes, exactly. So a peck on the cheek here and there, or a kiss on the lips that's like a regular smooch, fine. But that was total making out. Well, who just stands there on the dock and makes out even?
And this is now the second time that kids have gotten into trouble because they were making out.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And then she was sitting in a coffee shop and Charlotte gets kidnapped.
Yes.
It's accidents happen, but right now...
No, there's definitely neglectful behaviors going on. And I understand her point of, I wouldn't have to watch her quite so close if you didn't have a crazy life and people were coming after her.
Absolutely,
But at the same time, at any age, you're still making sure your kid doesn't walk off with a stranger or jump into icy water. Those are normal things.
But I think that the thing that really sticks the stake in her is the fact that she and Dustin were making out at the Halloween party. It wasn't even her own kids.
Right.
But them making out was more important than being a chaperone.
Yes. And it didn't make sense because they just talked about they were going to see each other later. It's not like, oh, you have to work for the next 3 days. I'm not going to see you. I'm going to miss you so much. Let me make out with you. No, I'll see you in a couple hours for our grown-up sleepover. Bye, see ya.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Charlotte talking about that sleepover, that was so funny.
That was so funny. Lulu did not know what to say. That was so funny.
And Dustin sending the kids to the bar to get ice cream. Kids are not allowed to sit at a bar.
No, they're not. And when you have the kids sit at the seat and you step over here,
right,
you need to have a conversation.
Yes.
Not send them to the bar.
Yeah.
But they send kids to the bar often. Robert did that. They did that with Charlotte just the other day. Or not Charlotte.
Violet.
Violet. Thank you. They did that with Violet the other day. Finn walked up and Anna and Robert were talking, and they sent Violet over to the bar to color, and then Robert walked over and was coloring with her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at least in Pennsylvania, kids are not allowed to sit alone at the bar by themselves. Mm-mm. I'm ashamed to say that that's not an uncommon. When I was a bartender, I mean, people would. Yeah.
That's crazy. Sit in a seat. I don't understand sitting.
Yeah, especially when there were 6 seats up against the wall. Like 6 booths. Yeah.
Right, I understand if you walk into someplace and there's nowhere else to sit. Okay.
Right.
And you can order.
They could sit at the bar with their parent.
Right. And especially if you're ordering food, you walk in, there's nowhere to sit. We're going to sit at the bar. Okay,
but like if my kids came to visit me or something while I was at work, and they couldn't just sit at the bar by themselves.
Right.
You know, even if whoever brought them went to the bathroom, like they cannot stay at the bar by themselves. So I don't know.
That's my personal New York law on that one. I don't know what their standard is.
Let's just not send our kids to the bar.
No, that's not okay.
No.
I feel like the bar at the Metro Court is a little different, though, than, say, the bar at the Floating Rip.
Yes.
Not saying that it's not still a bar, but that whole establishment kind of flows together, and it's not quite a bar scene the way the Floating Rip would be.
Okay, I can see that. But still, you were right. They should have stayed at the table.
Sit at the table and
order some sundaes.
Right. They could have said, sit at the table. We're going to go order your sundaes. And they walked over to the bar and said, can you send 2 sundaes over to that table? We're going to stand here and have a conversation.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Although Dustin was he and Nina were both really good whenever they were in the hospital. Like, okay, guys, seriously, zip it.
Right.
Because he was taking the adult approach, not just the don't be talking that way about my girlfriend approach.
Exactly.
Which was good.
Yeah. And Valentine was a little extra snippy with Rocco, too. It wasn't just to get the story out.
Yeah.
It was like maybe it was Rocco's fault. No, it's not. Your kid jumped in the water. He didn't push her.
Right.
It wasn't his fault.
Right. Although I've never been in that situation. If another child were telling me and I'm scared to death about one of my kids and another kid is saying to me it's my fault, I don't think I would be as nice as I am right now. I think that the tone, you would just still be carrying it.
No, see, I think you would still try to sound nice, even if inside you were screaming like you just wanted the kid to talk.
Yeah.
Because if you sound too nasty, the kid's not telling you the truth.
Very true.
They're going to shut down. So
they actually talked about that on one of the crime shows I was watching this week. So this week in recovery, all I've been doing is true crime.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, well, I'm glad that true crime told you I was right, and you have to talk.
I can't remember which one it was. That's really sad. But they did. They talked about the fact that you can't go at them in an accusatory tone,
right? Because then they're just going to shut down and not tell you the truth.
Yeah,
it only makes sense. So yeah, Valentine should have been nicer to Rocco.
I did think it was funny when again Finn with his little. I love the little one-liners that they're giving him, because Valentine's like, what? Wait, why did we call an infectious disease doctor? And he's like, maybe because she fell in the water and wants to make sure she didn't get an infection. Actually made sense to carry or to call him.
Right. For once it actually made sense instead of, he was just the doctor standing there. So we
right. And last thing that I have on like the Valentine stuff, I really like Nina's jacket, the black jacket that kind of sparkled.
I really liked it.
At what age do you get to start wearing stuff like that?
I think you've worn it whenever.
Could I wear it now?
Sure.
Okay. I just like the jacket.
I had random notes that didn't have anything to do with storyline, except for you're talking about what you like, so I'll say what I don't like. Ava's lipstick.
Oh, the one that matched her eyeshadow?
Yes.
I kind of liked it.
No, I did not. That was not a natural occurring color. I did not like that color. And when she's talking to Nicholas about how they shared this connection, blah, blah, blah. He just looks too young. And I know she hooked up with Morgan, but he looks so much younger than old Nicholas.
Yeah.
And it's not one is better than the other or whatever. It just makes me uncomfortable whenever she's talking about being with him because Ava needs to start dating some men her own age.
Someone did a poll on Twitter this week and they were like, what are you thinking? Yes or no? And most people said, and I did say it also, I said, initially, totally all for it until he started using Kiki against her.
Oh, right.
No.
That's not a healthy relationship. Absolutely not.
You've gone way beyond.
Yes.
That is worse than, I mean, you're not supposed to bring up things in the past, but we're all adults and we all know that we do.
Exactly.
No matter how much you tried not to.
Right. Bringing up something that Ava did wrong is totally different than telling her that her daughter's in hell. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm over him. What do you think she's going to do with the codicil?
I don't know.
I mean, you knew that she knew. You knew that she didn't burn it.
Right. I thought that was a great trick, though.
That was a great trick. So...
Because she hates Valentine, so she's not going to...
Yeah, she hates Valentine and she likes Spencer. Is she going to give it to Laura?
Maybe. Maybe she'll give it to Nina for after... Oh, maybe she'll give it to Nina for the wedding.
Oh, that would be good.
And then after the wedding, oh my gosh, Nina's going to leave Valentine or she's going to expose him at the altar.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to have the codicil and be like, oh yeah, and all that money that you love is actually his. And then Nicholas comes in.
Well, see, I hope Nicholas doesn't come in. I hope she says it's actually Spencer and hands it over to Laura and just cuts Nicholas
and Spencer
out of
comes walking it.
That would be good. That would be really good. Because I don't think that Nicholas deserves it.
No.
I know he says he wants it for Spencer, but it's not like he's not going to live in that fancy house and spend some of that money. So he should be cut out. He pretended to die. You get nothing.
And I like that Carly at least half confided in Jason.
Yes.
But
she should still be confiding in Sonny.
She should be. She absolutely should be. But she even said, she was like, it's not good for Sonny to know either. She is protecting him in a way.
I guess so, but I also
in a very,
feel like
very,
she's
very
making
small way.
Excuses to just justify what she's doing.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree on that, but she's giving him until New Year's. And I bet that there was kelp in that smoothie.
I'm sure there was. That was cute.
Kale. I bet there was
kale. Oh, was it kale?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I knew it was something healthy. And she was like...
Well, you can buy kelp sheets.
Yes.
Ugh. I've tried them.
I have not tried them, but
they're not...
I know it's a thing. That's why I didn't question it whenever you said it. Kelp, kale, whatever.
Yeah.
All that healthy stuff. You can put it in a smoothie. And Jax would be the one to put it in there. It probably had both. So...
Quite possibly. It's supposed to be really, really healthy for you. Yeah, they sell them like these dried sheets. They're kind of like those Listerine strips that you can put on your tongue. Yeah. But no.
No. Shannon's not a fan.
No. Random Nurse Amy.
Yeah. Just popped in out of nowhere.
Yep.
How are you today?
And now she knows all the gossip and everything.
Of course she does.
And
Nurse Amy's always knew the gossip no matter where they were. So it makes sense that she knows it. But yeah, that was out of nowhere.
You know her character's modeled after the original.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Exactly.
I thought we had talked about that before because...
No, that's what I meant. Any Nurse Amy knows what's going on.
Yep.
So...
Although, why can't someone walk in on Brad?
I thought that Michael was going to.
So did I.
When he handed Wiley over to Willow, I totally thought that was what's coming next.
Yep. No. People were getting fed up with...
It's dragging on too long.
It is. But then, I remembered, Michael was born in 97. AJ didn't find out he was dad until 99.
Okay.
But Tony knew he wasn't dad within 24 hours of the kid being born. So... And Michael forgot to mention to Willow that Jason took care of him after he was born.
Yeah, that was really funny. They went all on about him and taking care of Avery and whatever, but never said, oh yeah, Jason totally handled me.
Yeah. So people are speculating that now Willow's going to have eyes for Michael, being that he obviously wants kids, and Chase, in her mind, has said that he doesn't.
No.
I feel like they have a really good friendship. I think that she saw him, because she did make eyes at the end.
I feel like that's just them mothering, like, oh, even being happily married, if you're out in the store, at the zoo, whatever, the playground, and you see some other dad that honestly cares about his kids, is not just going through the motions, you look at him and go, oh.
And it's sexy. Like, it really is.
It is. I mean, we've talked about how sexist it is that we don't get googly eyes made at us because we're being good moms, but that anytime a man does something more than just competently, we're like, oh, wow.
Yep.
But it's just natural. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So of course she's going to look at him when he's talking about taking care of Avery and admitting that he did it to be spiteful, but he was doing an awesome job taking care of Avery.
Right.
So, and he's sitting there playing with Wiley. Like, give me a break. Of course she's going to make you go eyes.
Right. But she bit her lip too.
Yeah.
That was the over the top. Now we're getting into...
No, I think there's always been a little bit of chemistry between them, but her and Chase belong together.
Yeah. Like Willow and Michael are good friends.
Yeah.
And I think that I think they're going to be able to maintain the friendship after everything comes out.
Yes.
I really, really do. Because he's already gone through the full grief counseling.
Right.
She never finished it. Or I don't think she continued to go.
I'm pretty sure she didn't. Right.
But Chase did not say that he did not want to be a dad. And they clarified that. And I feel like they clarified that. Like that should be in her mind.
Really well.
He said that he wants to be a dad. And if I was pregnant, it would be fine.
Yes.
Him telling Finn, though, that he thought she was pregnant.
Yes.
And Finn's like, wait, what?
He says it casually over breakfast. Oh, yeah. And we had a pregnancy scare this week.
Right.
That was funny.
So how are you? But
they're so cute. Mm-hmm. I like that brotherly love they have going on. Don't you hate when you're listening to a great podcast and suddenly you're interrupted by an ad?
I know. Thank goodness Stitcher lets us listen to our favorite podcasts like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favorite Murder, and many more ad-free for only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year.
Go to Stitcher.com/premium to sign up today.
Use promo code Pier54 for 1 month free on us. They do. They have a good one. What about Sasha finally accepting?
She was good with her negotiations there with
Michael
Lucy.
Doing the negotiations. Yes. And that's why I think that nothing is going to happen between Michael and Willow because he has a good thing with Sasha right now. He does.
He really cares about her.
Yep.
And
I like them. I like them together.
I like that she is going to be powerful in the deception company.
Yep.
So they're kind of equal.
Yep. Yeah.
Because
Lucy can railroad.
Yeah. And I don't see him with a weak woman. And so she's going to play up to her responsibilities as a businesswoman and the model and the face of deception and all of that.
She's going to be like Brenda.
Exactly.
She's our new Brenda. But we can still bring Brenda back. I mean, we're okay with that.
They should probably consult. Brenda probably needs to be in
Brenda could be her mentor.
Yes.
I would be like, and here's how you work with Lucy.
Exactly. That should be a whole class.
I did write that I was excited for Sasha working with Lucy and all the truth is out about her.
Yes.
People like her, even though she's taking all the blame, people totally see through it. Nobody thinks that
she did it alone. Absolutely not.
But I like that because she's definitely not the new Carly because Carly
wouldn't have taken any responsibility for anything.
And Carly was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Carly did everything. The thing is, Sasha lied, but none of it benefited her.
Right. It wasn't an evil lie trying to manipulate the situation to get something out of it. She wasn't after money. She wasn't after fame. She wasn't trying to inherit something. She just fell in love with Nina. There was no bad intentions there.
I agree. So now the big thing.
Go ahead.
He's Franco.
Thank God.
Seriously.
I really would have been upset if they had just put him in a coma for a while or if they had him stay with part Drew memories and part Franco memories. I would have been so mad. But how's he going to handle knowing that he cheated on Liz, even though it wasn't him?
I think it's going to eat at him.
Yeah.
I think he's going to feel the regret. But that's the only thing that he did while he was Drew. I mean, he said things and
but he was
acted
so nice
ways
to
towards
her.
People.
Yeah, he wasn't mean to Elizabeth, even when they were fighting over if he was going to have the surgery or not.
Right.
He never got nasty with her. He always said, I understand where you're coming from, but you have to understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So the relationship shouldn't be devastated by that. But yeah, I think it's going to tear him up that he cheated on her, even though he didn't technically cheat on her.
Right, but his body went somewhere it wasn't supposed to.
Right.
I like that he said, if I'd known I was away, I would have missed you too.
Mm-hmm.
That was cute.
That was cute.
I just like that they're picking up, and Liz is doing a really good job of not burning him and not telling the Drew stuff right away.
Right.
He's gonna, our favorite thing, go to therapy. Because how do you even, it's bad enough when you do something dumb when you're drunk and you can't remember.
Right. Yeah. No, that's going to be crazy. And I felt bad for him when all those people were talking about Drew in front of him. And he's like, why don't you ask Drew? Why don't you talk to Drew? Why don't you? No, he's not around anymore.
But nobody took it upon themselves.
Yes, it was
to say, what do you mean? She's
cutting
gone.
them off. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think everyone picked up on it.
Right. My last note was just about how they ended with Nell seeing Wiley.
Oh, yeah. She was very obviously.
And Willow doesn't know that that's Nell because she didn't turn around and walk away.
I don't. Off the top of my head, I can't think if they met.
I don't know. I feel like if they would have,
she would have
turned around and walked away.
That could be Tuesday's opening.
It could be the opening, but I feel like just her body language, like she was sitting there holding him, standing there holding him, and then Nell wheeled up in her wheelchair and was like,
She
"Oh,
didn't
what a
have
cute
the
baby," and she didn't make that face like, "Oh my gosh, get away from me," or
Yeah.
turn him in the other direction. Her face looked like it was going to be one of those conversations of, "Oh, thank you, he is adorable," blah blah blah, where you talk about your kid. So I could be wrong. Maybe they'll change it 1 second later.
Right.
But the initial reaction on her face was not, "Oh crap,
Get the
you're
heck
crazy,
away from me.
I'm moving."
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
I wonder, how that's going to play out, where she's going to sit and have a conversation, and then Michael's going to come out and be like, "What? Don't leave her by him."
The last thing that I had was the empty nest on Twitter. Good Hawkeye on her or him. I don't know who it is. They really need a calculator. Peter started kindergarten in 74, apparently, according to that resume or whatever it is that Anna was reading.
Yeah.
That means he was born in 69, making him 50. In 86, Anna told Duke she was 26. Anna was 8 when she had Peter. They don't even try. I'm not even gonna lie. That one was disappointing.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention. Good job.
I know, really, and I mean, there's been some comments, but yeah, I mean, we all know that they sore ass kids. We all know that they sore ass adults sometimes too.
Right.
But
that's a huge leap. You're right. There's no way he's 50. Give me a break.
Right. You know, we don't see Jason's original 1981.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't see that as a date now that he was born. Michael was
Right.
born in 1997. He should have been turning 21 this week. Yep. 22.
20. Yes, he should be turning 22.
Right. And we did have one, I don't want to say correction, but like an extension of our Christmas episode from Thursday about when Laura declared that she and Scotty had had sex.
Yes.
How it was written is not really the atmosphere.
Okay.
She didn't just run into the room and was like, "Hey."
Okay, good.
It was Rick and Scotty had gone to the hospital. She and Leslie were talking, so it was like all after presents and everything.
Okay.
Leslie confided in her mom that she had finally slept with Scotty again. It was okay. It wasn't the same, things like that. So it wasn't how it was written, and Laura was just trying to reassure herself that having sex with Scotty was okay.
Okay. That makes
so
much more sense.
It does.
And good.
And that was Rose Kelly PC. So thank you
Yes,
very much for. And she said that there is a clip of it, so we can find it.
Yeah, I'll have to look. Thank you.
And that's why I like watching the YouTube videos too, because what is written a lot of the times
is not always the same tone. Yes.
No. So that definitely helps a lot. So that's all that I have. What about you?
Nope, that's it. I'm done.
It's your favorite time.
Reality check. Is it my turn to go first?
I think so.
I don't know anything that happened this week. Obviously, getting ready for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Still Christmas shopping because I'm never done. No matter when I start, I'm never done till I have to be done. All the stores are closed. There's nothing else I can do. Just because you always think of, oh, they're like this. Oh, they're like that. Megan had her last volleyball clinic this week, and the coach told her that she really does think that she'll make the team whenever tryouts are.
Oh, that's great. So she shouldn't say that.
I know. I know. Well, the coach of the team, like of the clinic, knows the coach of the team.
Okay.
And so she was saying that you can tell that Megan is new and she needs to practice some of her stuff, but she's really good at spiking the ball over the net. And I guess that's something that it's harder for kids to be doing. I was so not into sports. I don't know. So anyway, she told Megan that she felt like, yes, she would make the team because they can teach her and like mold her into what they want for the other stuff.
She has the basic foundation of the skill
that they're still trying to teach other kids that have been playing it for a while. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully she's right, because if not, Megan's going to be like, but she said. I'm going to see if they have a few more classes before tryouts just to kind of make sure. But then that led me down to, she could have some volleyball shorts and look at all the cute volleyball shirts and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to buy all that just yet, but I do because I'm excited that she's into something. So
you need to wait, though.
A whole bunch.
So hard, though.
Exactly. I'm just excited that she's found something that's hers, because Megan's my one that kind of gets lost among the other kids and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much all that happened this week. Emily had a bowling tournament the same time as Megan's volleyball again. So I talked about last week where I was playing the runaround game. Again this week I was calling up people, hey, can you pick her up if I'm not done in time, blah, blah, blah. Luckily I was, so no one thought I was incompetent because I was there for my children, both of them at the right time.
Think you're incompetent anyway. I actually read a really good article this week and it was talking about how making magic around Christmas is like killing moms.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't have the perfect Pinterest, this, that, and the other thing, we have to stop doing it to each other.
We do, because it's the moms that just keep perpetuating it. It's not the kids. They really don't. I mean, obviously they want presents and they like seeing the lights and Santa and all that stuff. But I've really toned it down. What they say about the more kids you have kind of really has stuck in our family. That with Madeline, I'm not spending $8 million taking you here, or I just can't afford to take all of us to go see lights at this place or this place. And she said to me the other day, she doesn't need any presents. She got everything she wanted for her birthday, and she doesn't need anything.
And she's 7?
She's 7.
Okay.
And I was like, thank you for reminding me that that's what it's about. She just wants, we have a Christmas story that I read to her every night that my mom read to me when I was little. And it's like a book that nobody else has, so she's super excited because when she tells the story at school, no one knows what she's talking about, so it's like our thing. And
what's the story?
It's called A Thingamajig Christmas, and I should know who it's by, but I don't. And it's these weird shaped thingamajigs, and they are not very nice, and so they get a letter from Santa that says that they better change their ways. And so they clean up their house and they bake Christmas cookies and all of that, and they think that they're like perfect now, and they find Molly Mouse and Humphrey, which is this weird little animal, underneath the bed, and Molly Mouse says to them, even now there's nothing on your Christmas list for anybody else. And so they stay up all night long making toys for each other, and then Santa comes and decorates their tree, and as he's leaving he says, presents and parties are fine for a start, but Christmas is really a place in your heart.
Aww.
Be kind and be loving, do the best you can do, and each day of the year will be Christmas for you, is how the story ends. So it is. See, you're like, oh, and I can recite it. I can recite it off by heart because we read it. And my mom found this book. We lived in Ohio at the time at the Columbus Library. She loved it. She tried to find a copy for herself, and she couldn't find it anywhere. And so she went to the library and bought their copy because she refused to give this book back. And in recent years, I have tried to find it, and I found it at one of the like old time bookseller things that's on the internet. And
it's expensive. Yes, I found it.
It's like $100. I guess that. Yeah. So
Irene and Dick Keller.
Thank you.
But yeah, $350 used or acceptable. $505 like new. $703 new.
See?
And apparently these are characters that they have a series.
They do have
books.
Other ones, but I can't find. I found one other of the regular copy that I did buy just so that when my kids get older, they're not arguing over the one copy that was my copy.
Okay.
And then they had board books too, and one was about manners, and it came with a cassette tape that you could play. And then the other one was the same Christmas story, but it was a board book. And so I bought both of those. But yeah, to buy like many of them, because I was going to buy them for my older siblings too, even though they didn't get the same experience that I did because I was the youngest. And yeah, I can't pay $700 for a book. So
it's not even on thrift books. So people are not.
Right. It's just, I don't know. Wow. I would love to know that story of how their collection came out and then it's just disappeared. But anyway, that's the story. It ends that way. And she now knows it by heart, and she can read fairly well. So it's every night we have to read this story, and it's very sweet. And it just kind of reminds you of, it really is. It's a place in your heart. Quit trying to outdo everyone, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that you bought the best teacher gift or that your kid had the cutest outfit or whatever. It's just the fun. Last week was one of those weeks where every day is something different. And so Wednesday was Grinch Day, so I did our hair like Cindy Lou Who. It was a hot mess because I am not a good girl mom when it comes to hair, but I stuck a toilet paper roll in and then pushed it up on top and hairsprayed the heck out of it. And then she had a sparkly JoJo bow that I jammed on the top of it. And she thought it was the coolest thing ever. When it fell out that night, she cried. That was how much she loved it. And I was like, thank you for just getting the meaning
Going
of
with
all
it.
of this, because I'm not ever going to be that mom that could put something on Pinterest. I'm always the Pinterest fail. So
I wonder if any of our listeners know that book too. That's why I wanted to know what it was, because I'm like, someone else has to know what this book is. That's exciting.
it's the best book ever.
Yeah.
So, oh, remind me, I'll bring it over next time you can look at it, because it's just.
Maybe that could be a bonus episode. Amanda reads us a thingamajig Christmas.
Right, because you have to do, and it's cute when Madeline reads it now because she does the same inflections with it that I do.
Okay,
It's
I
the
love
exact
you.
same. It's so
But can
cute.
Madeline please read me this story?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
she can. All right, so yours. Go on to yours
Mine's
now.
not. See, you always get mad that mine aren't that good. That is so good.
I just kind of rambled on about a Christmas story, but okay.
It's good though. I mean, that's what Christmas. It's Christmas week, you know. Today I'm 1 month post-op.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a month today, so
You look so
feeling
awesome.
pretty
I'm
good.
so jealous.
Thanks. I'm not. And my bill came yesterday, and it's not. I didn't get the surprise. Stuff's not covered. I mean, it's not even 2 car payments.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm very happy about this.
Yeah, because that's scary. Anytime you have anything done, that bill is scary.
And I've heard from other people that, you know, and we did call the insurance ahead of time and was like, okay, is this covered? And it, you know, it should be.
Right, right.
And the most you'll have to pay is your deductible. So I'm like, okay, that is worst case scenario. And that's $1,500 because I don't use it during the year.
Right.
But it's not even half my deductible.
That's awesome.
So it's $660. I'm just going to say it.
There you go. Because be proud.
It's amazing. And my car payment's $4. So
yeah, right. It's cheaper than a car.
Exactly. But this year I did a lot of online shopping, and I'm very thankful for my in-laws because I had everything sent to their house, because even if I was home, I can't pick up and move the boxes.
Oh, right.
So I had to have everything sent to their house, and they are so generous. And I went over on Wednesday afternoon. My daughter's school had a holiday lunch party that the parents and stuff could come to. So then after that, I went over, went through everything. I always have my husband's stuff sent there because my father-in-law wraps it for me.
Oh, wow.
This is how much I'm not allowed to wrap presents, okay? But he does. So he wraps that for us, or for me. And, you know, they help me sort through everything. They put it in the back of my car for me so that I didn't have to, because I still can't carry,
right,
you know, things. I'm not allowed to carry more than 10 pounds, and 10 pounds is not as heavy as you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted to hold a baby. I cannot hold a baby.
That would make me very sad.
Yeah. Because if they're born at 8 pounds,
right,
you know, 2 weeks later, I can't hold it. I know. So there's that. And then just like you, well, we were talking before, and kind of to fall in line with the, you know, Christmas isn't just about the stuff. This year I asked my kids to pick a nonprofit
that
we would
a
donate
great idea.
$25 in their name to the nonprofit. And, you know, they get the certificate and everything. So we did one for my daughter for the aviary, and she got this. She's going to be getting, she didn't get it yet. So we adopted the sloth for her.
That's so cute.
At the aviary. So don't even ask me why the aviary has a sloth. I don't know. But all I know is that my daughter loves the aviary. She loves the sloth. Therefore,
perfect gift.
Well, because she said that I asked her which ones were her favorite, and she gave me 3. She gave me like penguins, owls, and something else. And there were multiple of each category, but there was only one sloth.
Yeah.
So I went with the one. Mm-hmm. And then my son said that he wants to do something to support art. So I think that I'm going to try to find like an art program or something. And then we're going to start, they do volunteer work. I mean, my daughter does Habitat for Humanity through her school. My son's gone on mission trips, stuff like that.
Right.
But they need to start paying attention to different causes and being able to research different causes. And I'm not talking about, like, people post that meme or the graphic every time of this year.
Yes.
Don't donate to these places. And the big one is Goodwill. And the thing is, people don't realize is that, because they're like, Goodwill doesn't give any money back. Goodwill employs people who might not otherwise be employable.
Right.
But at least our location here in Southwest Pennsylvania, they provide free training. You know, I got to go on this tour. It's called the Faces of Work tour. It's amazing. They have kids coming from high schools, coming into their location, bring them in and train them in a retail space. They actually have a partnership with CVS to where they have a room set up like a mini CVS. Wow. And they send the staff to go shopping.
Oh, that's cool.
And they'll take off labels. They'll move stuff around the store that's in the wrong spot, you know, so they have to teach. That's where the money's going.
Yeah.
To things like that, you know, and they have English as a second language classes. They have all kinds of things. So even though they're not doing what people in their mind think is going back.
Exactly.
They are, because they are empowering people to be able to work and have a job. Some guy went through one of their courses, was able to pass some kind of a licensing test or something. And within 6 months, he was working at a job in some tech field. I didn't understand anything that they were talking about, like in terms of, it was very techy, the stuff that they were talking about. But he had a job, $20 an hour.
Wow.
You know, and with no other education.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's really good. And because he put in the work at Goodwill.
Right.
You know, for free. He received it for free. But you know how they say, like, you can't get something for nothing, you know, but he put in his time.
Yes.
And it's good. So I support things like that. But you do have to pay attention to, you know,
right,
where's the money going once you donate, you know, because it can be real, especially this time of year. There's so many false charities. Like street and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, that's really my reality.
That's so nice.
Everyone's home now because school's
not out.
School's out. They don't go tomorrow, do they?
Yes, they do.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious? We have school tomorrow?
Like, I would make that up. Yes, we have school tomorrow.
Are you serious? We have school tomorrow?
Why would I lie about that? First of all, I know for a fact that they have school tomorrow because it is Madeline's Christmas party. And my older girls are saying how it's not fair and they shouldn't go. And I guess even the teachers are like, it would be fine if you didn't show up, because I guess they implemented a new policy that at our schools, they're not allowed to show movies just for fun. They have to have some type of educational value. In the upper classes, in the lower classes, Madeline was watching movies all week last week. The Grinch, Polar Express, something else. But the older kids, they have to be educational movies. So the teachers actually have to try to pretend to teach something tomorrow, or else just let the kids sit there and twiddle their thumbs because they're not allowed to watch movies.
So my son's not going to school tomorrow.
All right.
Because we already made plans based on the fact that my husband works for a school, so and my daughter doesn't have school. I didn't think to check if I even have it in my calendar. No school for.
I'll take this moment to be the competent parent over here. I know when our children have school.
You just called me incompetent.
I just want to take the title of competent for one day, please.
Listen, I have kids in different schools. My husband works for a school. I have 3 districts that I have to pay attention to. Yeah.
All right. Well, there's your reality. Yes, there's school tomorrow.
And for as organized as I am, I didn't realize it would have made sense.
And
it's a Monday. Why?
I'm with you that they should have had off. But again, I can't have Madeline miss her Christmas party.
Nope.
Or holiday party, sorry. So she has to go. And so the other two, Megan's had an attitude lately, and Emily's grades are not where they should be. So it's a perfect excuse to force them to go.
All right. So I guess that's my big reality check, is that I need to double check my list of the calendar. I do, though. Like, I really do, because at the beginning of every year, I print off both of their calendars, and I sit with my big calendar, and I write them all in, and then I copy it to my phone. Oops.
And all the districts around us, Friday was their last day.
Yeah.
And then they don't go back till that Monday, the 6th or whatever. And I think we go back earlier than that too. But that
go back the 2nd.
Do we go back the 2nd?
That's when my daughter goes back. So that's when I'm sending my son. Because that's what I thought. I
hope the bus comes that day. I think it is the 2nd.
But they can't send them on the 1st.
No, they can't send them on the 1st. I wasn't sure if it was the 2nd.
I do think it is the 2nd. Because it's a Thursday.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
All right.
The 2nd. But most kids don't go back to the 6th.
So we're just a couple of hot mess moms over here, just trying to make our way through the world. But on Thursday's episode, we are going to be talking about New Year's Eve.
Yes.
And we went to Instagram and Twitter and all those fun things, got some feedback, and we'll give you a little recap of some years of General Hospital on New Year's Eve.
Perfect.
So until then,
have a good week.
And Merry Christmas. And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.